Tyloo can be pretty much almost unbeatable on this map. And today is looking like a good day for Mr. Bented and his team.
On a good day, Tyloo are like a top 5 team in the world, mate, if they're all performing up to their highest level, you know. It's just such an individual roster of fraggers and firepower over on the side of Tyloo. And for MVP, can't really say the same for them 100%, but if they do hit their level, they can be pretty decent as well, and they're going to need to, because let's face it, they got shut out of that series by only a couple of decent players from some of these Tyloo players, and if that's all that it takes for Tyloo to beat MVP on their own map pick, then I'd be looking pretty scared heading into Mirage.
We do see Tyloo showing a little bit of presence towards B apartments, and then making the way all the way back towards T-spawn, where we have Bented. Once again, the man, he does so much for his team. Here he is with the smoke and a couple of flashbangs, and he is going to be enabling his teammates to run into that A-bomb site. Yeah,
I think he usually throws the deep jungle smoke and then double flash over the top, and out they go into the crossfire of MVP.
Ooh, HSK, very lucky to find a frag there, but somebody will find Zine, and Bented joins the party as well. Frags going to it, but Mr. Zeph with 2 quick kills. Stax finds another. It's Bented versus Stax. The Indo God versus the newest member of MVP PK, and Bented knows where he is. Spots him out, a USP duel. Does he want to take this though? He can play around with the bomb. He's got so much time to work with as well, 35 seconds. Is he going to stick it? Yes, of course he is. And Stax now, it's all on him, and Bented knows. He knows where Stax is coming in from, and if he can make his way to cover, yes, he will. This is going to be hard indeed. Ooh. But what a peek from Stax. Decapitates Bented, and that is going to be MVP winning the pistol round. What a hero play from Zeph there. 2 headshots back-to-back out of nowhere.
Yeah, look, maybe a bit of an accidental hero play, as he was like strafing sideways into the back of a smoker, just tapping his mouse one as fearlessly as possible. But, you know, whatever it gets it done for you. Stack's really the hero of that round towards the end of things. Takes advantage of Zeph creating that space, shoots one of these Tyloo players in the side of the head looking towards jungle, and closes out that 1v1 against the Indo God himself. That's one way to get your stripes into the scene. Now,
all the Bented played it to perfection, to be honest.
Yep. Just crosshair was a centimeter off, basically. That's the only difference.
And against these players at this level, a little bit of, if you're off of 1 centimeter, your head is going to get punched in. Tyloo, of course, is going to be going for the buy, but Zeph is going to continue where he left off from. He is doing so much damage onto these players. Somebody's been taken down. He's been having a rough day today in the office.
This is the force up from Tyloo. And at the moment, they have lost the man advantage, unfortunately. Really going to be up to these AK players, Attacker and Bented in particular, to be able to open up this round as Tyloo continue to put pressure on mid, but Zeph in an excellent position to be able to pounce in the mid round and create an even bigger advantage if he finds the right timing to do so. The problem is that he doesn't really have any teammates who have flashes to be able to put him into a position like that. Just going to be Zeta who's going to drop the smoke into connector. Here's the opportunity for Zeph to peek out the left side of window if he so wishes to do so. Could definitely find a pick in the mid round. There it is.
Timing's good. He's looking for more, but he takes a bit of damage. He should be asking for some help from his teammate Molotov. Oh!
That's more than job done for Zeph. He literally, as soon as he gets 2 there, that's all he needed, but he even picks up X-Curate, holding on to the bitter end and just getting that last frag as well. So Tyloo only with 2 players. Both of them do have AKs though, no armor on Fancy.
We've seen this before. It's Bented and Fancy. 2v4.
MVP, you had your chances on Inferno. You kind of threw them away a bit. You can't be losing this one as well.
Oof, that nade's going to do so much damage. But look at Fancy, aware where Zeta is, but not able to quite make up for it. But Bented, of course he strikes. He finds 2 quick kills, and he hears a player jumping in. And he does get taken down, though. He did a bit of damage on HSK as well, falling down towards Sandwich. But fortunate for MVP, they will hold on to those 2 guns, but that got a little scary.
It got a little scary, and they lost a lot of money just from Bented getting an extra couple of kills towards the end of that round. And they need a clean one from MVP. They can't keep throwing their money in the bin time and time again on the CT side. They need to be building it up. And Tyloo on this eco round with the 5 Deagles are looking to make sure they can't do that. All group up towards the A side of the map, and Zeta as well as Zion going to be playing retake on this A bomb site, which is going to give lots of opportunities for Tyloo to find these angles if they want them.
Zion. Ooh, Attacker does find a player to CT spawn, and this guy...
Zion had full utility as well.
Oh, yeah. And HSK does reply back, ensuring he doesn't get picked up. But that was looking scary. These Deagles in the hands of these players, you need to play this with respect. You just can't just run out and hope to win these duels. Though, that being said, Zeta and Zeph will have no trouble. It's all that Execute. Kevin, Sasanta, and he's not really landing those shots. Almost finds both of them, in fact. But Zeph and HSK will survive. That's a very important round. Did Zeph just throw away his weapon?
I think so. So MVP, not ideal towards the end of that round. I mean, look, their money is still pretty bad, unfortunately. And now Tyloo going to be buying up into this one. They're looking like they're going to go for that mid-control. Standard default round from them. HSK has expended his utility in terms of the Molotov to be able to throw off this mid-window smoke thrown at the start of the round by Tyloo, but he's not going to find an angle through it, as none of the Tyloo players are really peeking middle.
Bentet waiting patiently for someone to come out towards jungle, but yeah, like I said, 3 mid, 3 players towards the B bomb site. They're really hedging the best, and it's good the fact that it's going to be a B hit. And pretty much playing retake over at A for the time being, our MVP.
And that's really just somebody firing a lot of bullets and using his utility set towards that apartments, which is usually a bit of a tell that some kind of an execute's going to be coming in there from Tyloo, but it's not going to be the case. Smoke into connector as well as into window as Tyloo take this mid control.
They haven't
and
budged
it's looking
yet.
like an A split, and against what MVP's doing, one false move from Zion or Zeta, and this round is over, Blair.
It's happening. Now they know. Now they know. Oh, Zeta with a beautiful spray transfer. Doesn't get the kill, but he does so much damage to attacker. And 1 bullet through the box is all they need. Execute, however, finding HSK. Does he get the bomb done? Yes, he does. In the nick of time, 2v2, Execute, and somebody was a Zeph and Stack. Zeph coming in. He has an inkling that Execute's floating somewhere around there, and it's all about timing, but Execute's got the right angle. But he hears a player close connector, so he has to force himself to take the fight. Smokes himself off, makes his way towards the CD spawn area where somebody, he's got to go big here, but oh no, the angle doesn't work out, but he still manages to get the kill onto Stacks, and now Zeph and Execute, Execute's outplayed him. He doesn't need to show himself. Zeph still thinks he's towards CD spawn, and Execute in 29 HP. He's pretty much won this round. He doesn't have to do anything, and Zeph realizes that he will head towards CD spawn and try to hold on to this AUG, and that is going to be the first round on board for Tyloo, and that could have gone either way very easily. That could have gone the way of MVP PK. If only attacker hadn't survived the 2 points of health, or if only he didn't die right after he got the bomb down. That could have been MVP's round, but Tyloo, they hold on. They have just 1 player surviving, but they do manage to win it. And more importantly, Pili, the economy for MVP is looking like, looking pretty rough. Looking like the Greek economy at the moment.
Yeah, they're trying to make this UMP by work. HSK is trying to hold middle control with the CZ75. Good luck with that, mate. Tyloo going to be heading towards this B bomb site pretty quickly here. Somebody applying pressure to try to waste the utility from the CTs before this execute comes in, and the smokes come in from Tyloo, but it's a 3-stack again from MVP in reply. But they're going towards underpass, Tyloo. I feel like somebody, he knows how many players were throwing utility towards this part of the map. And look at Tyloo, they're going straight up connector. It's only going to be Zeta at CT ticket with a UMP. I don't know what he's going to be able to do with that, honestly, Blair.
And look at Zion as well. He's going to get flanked by somebody who's in 1 HP. Flash going to come in. Attacker, no problem, finds one. Double P comes in, actually gets a second kill before it gets taken down. And look at this cheeky guy, Zion, sneaking in from behind. He's going to get the kill, but he doesn't notice another player towards T-spawn, and that is going to be somebody. He's in 1 HP, but is in such a good position. He's ready and waiting, and the bomb is planted for him. And there we go, Zion caught priming the smoke, and that's going to be all on Zeph, who is on 9 frags and 2 deaths, but this is going to be impossible for him as well. Another clutch will not be happening for the man, and Tyloo are going to get to 2 rounds, and that means MVP's money is now truly, utterly in the bin, unless Zeph does manage to save this AUG, which he should.
That was a great mid-round call there from Tyloo. Somebody just recognizing how much utility is actually being thrown in towards that B apartments, or maybe they heard the rotation over from one of those extra players on MVP, and they just make their way quickly towards underpass. I don't think that was a pre-planned sort of fake call from Tyloo, rather a mid-round call. Otherwise, you usually would see an extra person over towards that A bomb site or middle or something, rather than all those players towards B apartments. Was literally 4 guys ready to go for that B execute, and then quickly all 3 of them made their way back towards.
Execute is going to be facing the firing squad, but you can see the A-bomb side taken over. So even though they lose a player, they're gonna. Oh, somebody! No, there's no need. There's no need. There's no need. There's no need.
Utility,
There's
just
no
smoked Con off.
Oh, attacker's gonna get taken down. He's looking the wrong way. There's no one spotting him, but Zeta doesn't peek out wide though. Oh, attacker's so lucky to be alive. So very lucky indeed.
Somebody had a full belter utility, then he's just wide peeking connector, and the CT's on a headshot line, and they're losing so many guns on Tyloo.
No, this is a round they should have won by maybe losing one player, perhaps. And instead, despite winning the round, they're losing so much of...
There's a kit on Zeph. I don't think he's got the time, though. Oh, it's going to be so close.
No, he doesn't. What?
Oh,
what?
That was literally 0.01 seconds.
What?
And what a round for Tyloo to lose. There's no way, there's no reason for Excurate. There's no reason for Excurate to run out top mid anti-eco there right at the start. There's no reason for somebody to just fight connector, man.
How to lose a round 101 by Tyloo.
One gun, only on Zeph, and then the rest of them just had USPs. And that's one way for MVP to get straight back into this game.
Oh my lord, oh my god, that was... If they lose a series, or this map, because of that round, that is just... Oh man. If I was Jonta, I would be furious right now.
That's definitely a slap on the wrist from Jonta for multiple players. Somebody again throwing the utility over towards B apartments as Tyloo go and take this mid control. Nice 1-3-1 setup from them. Summer's going to be that player towards A Palace. Let's see what the rotation's going to be from Tyloo, because let's face it, somebody with the Mac 10 and no utility, there's no real reason for him to stick around in B, so he will actually join up with Bentet in underpass as Tyloo starts to creep their way towards connector and window, which might give an opening for Fancy to go out Palace here in the mid-round and make some impact. Smoke towards top of Con will give Tyloo some room to work with in that part of the map in particular, and it looks like they're winding up this A split.
This A split can work out, like you mentioned. Weapon another great, but somebody with that Mac 10, he's in a good spot to wreak some havoc, create some problems here for Zine. If he does opt to come in through the murder hole inside, he's going to sit there, and that's good. Zeta in a good position to get at least one frag here. The problem is, if the trade comes in from HSK, is he going to peek on out? No, he's not. He's going to play the smart, and there's Zine. He strikes once. Summer needs to make a play as well. Zine, however, gets taken down. Benton and somebody pins for him. And it's all on the man with CD spawn. HSK, he gets tagged up a little bit. They know where he is. As Expert's taking a bit of money. What? From HSK through the box. And they need to get the bomb down and Stacks can just go for the wall bang. Oh, what is it? What are you doing, Summer? I'm sure you heard him. That's a round done. That's a round done. And Stacks clutches it out for his team. Did you not hear him?
No, he just... I think the communication was just not clear enough there. Obviously, it's a split-second decision whether you plant for CT or you plant for middle, and his teammate was covering middle, so that would have probably been the better call in that scenario. Even then, those Stacks could have pushed out CT and killed him. Pretty rough situation for Tyloo. They didn't have much time to work with. 2
rounds now. That could have really gone their way. They would have been the lead right here with Tyloo, but unfortunately for them, sometimes life sucks.
It does, but still, MVP's money is not great. These rounds have still been close, and that's keeping MVP nice and honest. And all it takes is one more play from one of these Tyloo players like we saw on Inferno, and they're straight back into things.
And the thing with the MVP is I've never truly been impressed with the T side. They've always kind of struggled, I feel, on this particular map. So this could still very well go the way of Tyloo. Oh, nice flashbang there. HSK tagged on so very badly, and Zine... He somehow recovers, finds 3 before he gets taken down. I don't know how he found 2 there. HSK strikes, and it's all on Mr. Bentet. And unfortunately for him, the P250 at that range is going to be pretty much a P shooter against Zeph. 62 for MVP, a much more solid round. They'd lose just 1 player there.
Absolutely right, and they keep all the Orgs and the AWP alive. Sign can just grab himself a weapon, and they'll be totally fine. 2 to 3K across the board for most of their players. Over here on Tyloo, it's going to be a full buy from them, and all 5 of their players quickly over towards B. Maybe they're finally, after time and time again, somebody putting emphasis and pressure on this B apartment's actually about to execute B. You can see that Molotov going up very, very early, and Tyloo are full committing here.
Full commit as Zeph is going to open it up. Doesn't get more than one. It's Bentet will get the trade. Stack still very much alive. Snaps on to the second player. It's Bentet, but doesn't get anything done. HSK, I thought that was Aimfun just kicking in there. Not able to land a shot as this B bomb site. Taken over by Tyloo. Bomb getting planted as well. Zeta with a Molotov towards a pillar. Not able to find anything, but Bentet is holding the line and his spray is good. Zeta falls. It's all on Zion here. Bentet just walks on out, gets the off angle. Quad kill for the Indonesian superstar. As Tyloo, they will finally win a round after what it seems like forever. And for MVP PK, they're going to force this one up.
So there you go. It wasn't really a case of what I thought it would be, where somebody's put pressure on that B apartments time and time again and thrown his utility in that part of the map, which sometimes will prompt a mistake coming out from the CTs, which Tyloo can abuse when they throw that B execute. Really, it was just some individual shots going and duels going the way of Tyloo towards the later parts of that round.
Of course, Bentet getting a quad kill. Standard Tyloo round win.
It's not really that impressive. Like, by his standards, only 4 kills.
Yeah, I should
kill at least 6 CTs, even when there's only 5 in the server. Kill the coach as well. See ya, Termy.
Imagine, like, if you actually see that. Like, he just sprays wildly and you can see the coach's name cropping up. Bentet kills it. That would terrify me, honestly. Well, Zion is pushed up. I like this.
What an angle. What is this?
It's going to work out. It's going to work out.
The crouch peek, what?
Summer is just like he's operating at some other level, man. Like, I don't even... Why would he crouch peek at that angle? Like, he's so aware that a push is going to be coming in. And you know what? I wish somebody was a little like that.
What a gamer.
What a gamer. What a great e-gamer. As somebody, I take his name, and there he is towards that B apartments, trying to make his presence felt. Just tosses in a smoke, nothing much else, as the rest of his team are going to execute towards this A-bomb site.
Look at the top mid push from Zeph as well.
Ooh, HSK. Man, he needs to hit that. Zeta will find a frag. HSK gets taken up by Execurate. Smokes in play. Is there a gap? There's a question. Zeta, they're aware. They're aware someone's going to be coming in, and it's going to be somebody at a timing. The peak, the double peak as well. That's such good work coming up for MVP. Zeta peeks out at the same time his teammate was there in the flank, of course, from Zeph. This round is going to be almost impossible as Bentet is going to fall. It's all on Execurate. Young Execurate. This is winnable. They still don't know where he is. But he needs to line 2 kills. And the wallbang comes in the moment Stax is about to cross on over. And that is just a perfect retake coming in from MVP PK.
Wow, Blair. You know, we talk about Zeta and HSK and Zion. I mean, what's the point? Look at Zeph. Look at Stax right now. 15-4, 9-3.
Well,
old mate Zeph.
His name is Zeph.
Going absolutely ham against Tyloo right now, but Tyloo will be able to buy up again into this round.
Rolling
MVP, their money's still so rocky, man. Like, any moment, it always just feels like it's only a matter of time until Tyloo just comes away with one of these plays. But MVP, I'd say they've been much more solid in terms of closing out these rounds in the XVX situations, your 2v2s, your 3v3s on Mirage than they were on Inferno thus far. So this might be a 3-mapper here, Blair. Might be getting barbecue after all.
Well, let's see how that one's going to pan out. The dual op setup again, Zeta, just with the AUG. But to be honest, considering how much work he's been putting in with the rifles, it's fair enough. Stacks with the AWP, HSK with the op as well. They have a lot to work with. Do MVP as Tyloo are taking a sweet time, getting some map. Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely. The nade, and he's burning. Attacker's burning. And I'm sure that whoever's playing from jungle, that HSK should have heard that. So he knows.
What is Zion doing, man?
Zion is... where is Zion, by the way?
He's literally looking into the wall with his smoke out. Okay, thank God. I thought he disconnected or something. Stax is going to pick somebody in B apartments. He's been going in that part of the map.
I like this.
Every single round.
I love the re-aggression coming out from MVP. At least getting some information. I wouldn't say map control, but at least gathering some info as to what's happening. And with Stax being perched over here, that means that the second player playing towards B bombs, Zeph, he can actually play from market, perhaps. Just try and go for a quick rotate towards the A bomb site.
Oh, he walks into B apartments. That's full info here for MVP.
With that op as well. And here comes the A play, and you can see rotation already taking place in the lineup is great. Zeta with 2. HSK finds another one, and it's all on Bentet. And Zeph will fall, but with 12 seconds, it's nothing much Mr. Hansel Ferdinand can do. It's a 1v4 here. 7 seconds, he will try to save. Are they going to go for the hunt? No, they're not. They know the money is in a precarious position indeed. And it's going to be 8 rounds for MVP PK.
4 alive again, now starting to build up a little bit of cash, and Tyloo, they're pretty broke. Brented's got the 350, surviving at the end of that last round. The rest of Tyloo probably would have been better, honestly, if Brented had just died there. At the end of the round, really throws off the money. But Tyloo, they're going to half buy around Bentet. They've got a lot of loss bonus to lean back on, so if they get the bomb plant down, Bentet can still probably buy himself AK and armor. It's going to be over here towards the B bomb site again. Stacks with the AWP. If he gets caught off on the timing, Bentet on the entry, but Zeph's there every single time from short. He's been shutting this push down.
He's really been on point today, at least in this half so far as Zeph. 16 frags and 5 deaths for him in 11 rounds. The 12th round right now, by the way, Pilly. So he's really been putting in the work. And for Tyloo, they have 2 flashbangs remaining. This is hard. This is really hard. Whichever side. If you go towards B, they're going to get completely mowed down. If they go towards A to CZ, at that range is not going to be really useful. What are they going to do, Pilly?
They are going to hope that MVP get antsy and push them so that they can do a little bit of extra economic damage and potentially break their money late into this half, but it's not looking likely, especially if MVP survive with 5 alive in this round. They're going to be totally fine heading into the rest of this. Oh my god, I think they've actually found a gap in the defense here over on the side of Tyloo. Is anybody watching short? Yep, you got Stacks, he's posted on the line. Excellent stuff from MVP. Too easy, clean them all up. 5 alive. And a 9-3 lead here. Bentet, without that bomb plant, can't get himself AK and armor and a bit of utility. He's going to have to go down to a lesser weapon, and considering he's the one who's putting in the most work here for Tyloo. Talked about how some of them were starting to warm up and fire up into this game here, Blair, but going a little bit quiet so far in this half of Mirage.
Yeah, that is true. And MVP, despite a few scares they had there, they have managed to come on through. And let's be honest, though. Tyloo lost 2 rounds they should have won. They should honestly have won the couple of rounds over there. But such is life. Sometimes it gives, sometimes it takes away. And right now for Tyloo, it is going to be a pretty rough round. 3 AKs, Avid Eagle, already attacker has been taken out of the server by the op of HSKs. And you can see the setup here. It's not like MVP are trying anything special. They're literally playing 2 in the site, 2 in the B bomb side. Sometimes they have 3 at A or maybe 3 at B. Nothing too crazy. They have not even bothered contesting mid at any point in time, as Stacks will give somebody a clean haircut there. AK being dropped on over to the player to pick up. I do believe that was Bentet, of course. And here comes the play towards B. They have to just go in for this, but look at who's waiting for them. It's going to be Zeph. He just finds one, but who's alive? Stacks is. He flags one. Calm, controlled, opting from him. But he will be caught out in midair, and it's Bentet, and he knows. He knows. And he's going to find one. Turns around, and Exine, fortunately, getting the kill. Because if Bentet found that, that could have definitely gone either way. It would have been a 1v1. But Tyloo will only find 3 so far in this half. Pilly, MVP PK. They're just shutting it down. And again, I'm going to reiterate this. They're not trying anything crazy. They're not pushing out anywhere. They're not even bothering going for mid control.
Yep.
Sometimes they go for some late B apartments push. Maybe just try and, you know, just get some information. Or sometimes you see a player pushing up top mid and flanking from T-spawn. But that's happened so rarely so far. Apart from that, they're just playing such a static CT side. And Tyloo just have no answer for that.
Yeah, you talk about the wall over on Alpha Red. MVP setting up the DMZs here. They're like clearly like no one steps foot in this part of the map, or you get absolutely blown up.
DMZs. Well, let's see if Tyloo can somehow manage to at least put a step across the line, because they would want to get at least more than 3 rounds. This is their map pick, by the way, so it's gonna be a little rough for these guys.
HSK again creating himself a gap in this smoke, which he's been abusing time and time again. Someone needs to be very careful here not to overextend, but he's going to flash and head back towards that B apartments. And it's going to be on Zeph as well as Stacks once again. They're not in an aggressive position up towards the apartments this time around. And somebody's got very, very deep here with the MAC-10, but there's 3 players already over here. HSK is going to drop the flash into Apps.
Oh no, the timing on the flash. He's just had crossed on over, but it's gonna be Summer who gets a kill on his Zeph, and they're getting mowed on down here. Yep. Somebody, this is where he shines. Sheer utter chaos. Give him a MAC-10, he will hold W and kill every single person in his way. And just like that, Tyloo with a B explode. and somebody with a MAC-10 will ensure they get to round number 4, and MVP, there's nothing they can do here. Zeta and Zyme will fall on back, hold on to these Zogs, and at least try to get around number 11 for Tyloo. They desperately need the next round as well.
100%, and that's an excellent B execute from Tyloo. You were looking at them in the previous rounds when, you know, you saw time and time again somebody probing that B apartments, creating the seeds of doubt in MVP's mind, whether that's a B execute or just somebody doing his normal sort of default dance. In the previous rounds as well, when they tried to do that B execute, that first player didn't have the smoke on the windows and got himself picked multiple times before the actual execute came in. The whole point of that B execute is you get that 1T very, very deep up in the apartments that he tries to bait out the utility from the CTs, and then if he's alive, then great. He turns into an entry fragger. If he's dead, then hopefully the CTs have used a lot of their utility and you're able to throw the smokes and the execute into the bomb site and get in there. But Tyloo, finally it works for them. MVP have been good at shutting it down, but that time, somebody in particular does an excellent job getting out there with the MAC-10 and entry.
Again, every single time. The fact that HSK is getting this angle every single time means it allows for so much information. He doesn't even need to get a kill. The fact there's no one towards top of mid is so much information being conveyed here. You can see Stacks with a much more aggressive angle this time around. Somebody should be careful. The second he sees a flash or whatever being thrown out, he could get taken down. However, luckily for him, Stacks will drop on down. Molotov towards the edge of that apartment. Smoke's going to be coming in. Here comes the flashes raining in. The 3 players ready and waiting again.
It's a fake though.
It is a fake indeed, but the bomb is still floating around here. Zeta is going to catch someone. They might think it's an actual fake, but are they going to recommit back towards B bomb site? It looks like it is. Attacker is trying to sell it, and they're rotating away. Yep. They're rotating away. It's only one player left in the B bomb site, and Hit's going to be coming in, but Stacks, he's going to find the first kill. He should be calling his teammates back, but they don't know where the bomb is, and as long as Attacker stays alive here, and if he can get one more kill, that could be huge. Edge of the smoke, he spots out a player. He doesn't know this player right next to him, and Zynus gets the kill, and Stacks, it's time for him to go big here. He just needs to get one more kill, and just walking on around, and Zep's going to get a frag onto a player. In the meantime, it's all in Benton. He finds 2. He needs to find 2 more. Bomb needs to get planted as well. HSK and Zyme versus Benton and 3 points of health, and he needs to find 2. And unfortunately for him, HSK jumps on out and gets the kill, and that's going to be round number 11 for MVP. Tyloo do get at least one more round near the end of the half, but will it be enough is the question here, Pilly.
I'm not too sure. Tyloo should have a pretty good run of things on their CT side, but I'd imagine that MVP is in a great position to be able to close out Mirage.
Well, indeed, it could very well be the case. Will they close it out and take it to map number 3, or will Tyloo mount the comeback and close the series out 2-0? We're going to find back after a very quick break. Welcome back, everyone, to the MVP PK show. They have dominated on the CT side, despite the odds still being heavily tilted in Tyloo's favor. 1.20 to 3.80 are the odds on Betway, esports.betway.com if you are a betting man. But Pili, talk me through what we witnessed in the first half.
It was just a complete shutdown from MVP. As soon as they got control of their money, they were able to come away with so many rounds in a row. Not to mention the fact that a lot of these late round scenarios, your 2v2s, your 3v3s, were going the way of MVP, whereas last map, these Tyloo players were really stepping up and individually just blowing MVP out of the server. It's been the complete opposite. Bentet's been the only one who's really heavily showed up for this map in particular for Tyloo, and everyone else has been a little bit quiet. It's a bit of a worrying sign. It's pretty much one of the main factors why Firepower were able to upset them yesterday, and it kind of feels like that first map, it's like, finally, Tyloo have woken up. They're here to play their normal game. They're going to absolutely blow MVP out of the water. They're not messing around in this group anymore, but this half in particular hasn't looked like it.
Yep, the Koreans are not going to roll over and just allow Tyloo to go through with the win here, as they would be looking to close this one out in a convincing fashion and take it to map number 3, which is, if it does go to map number 3, it is going to be an overpass, another map that we've enjoyed watching so far. MVP did beat Tavici on it yesterday in a nail-biter. And look at the score right there. Excurate, Attacker, and Fancy on 3 frags apiece, Pili. That's what you're talking about.
And Zeph's got 20. Look at him go. MVP just going to be contacting out of A here. Smoke on Sandwich, as well as towards the jungle. Flashbangs over ramp. And should see MVP going heavily out onto this A bomb site. Full retake from Tyloo. They're going to grab mid control probably before they come in for this retake and rely on Fancy to throw a smoke down on the bomb. But it is up. It's interesting. They're going to open plant for CT rather than planting for middle or the side of triple.
The pop flash going to be coming in from Stacks. Here we go. And they're going to be 4 CTs ready and waiting. It's going to be a bloodbath as Zeph is going to get the first kill. Zeph finds 2. He's just not stopping. This man is possessed. The Summer replies back, switches over to another USP, and there's another guy in the corner. It's going to be Summer picking up a double kill, 2 headshots. And now it's going to be Bentet joining the party. 2 players, Zeta and HSK. Somebody, there's no need to jump at that point in time, son. And they're going to smoke off the bomb. They're going to tap it. And are they going to body block the bullets as Zeta is going to push him with the P to 50? He's going to find one more, but Fancy in the smoke like a wraith. He will get the defuse, and that is going to be the round going the way of Tyloo, a round they desperately needed.
And putting the bomb down, like in that open plant, actually messed Zeta up there at the end. If that was down towards triple or in the standard sort of default plant spot that you see when you throw those smokes down on the right side of site, it would have been so much easier for him to defend the plant from a ramp. Regardless, off the back of that, bit of a half buy here for MVP. HSK's gone for Scout and Armor. Zed is invested in Deagle and Light Armor. Zeph's got an AK dropped over to him. So they're going to see what they could do with this weaponry. MVP has been very weird with some of their purchases and their decisions so far in this series. However, they have demonstrated that they can make a bit of a lackluster buy turn into something pretty special from time to time.
Let's see if that one pans out. HSK leading the charge, Scout in hand. Is looking. Oh, I think Excurate spotted him out. No, he hasn't spotted him out yet. He's waiting patiently. Oh, nice attack there to Excurate. Down to 49 points. I felt a nice counter flash as well, just to keep them delayed for a couple of seconds. As Summer is gonna strike first. Zeta will fall towards Palace. And I like this re-aggression. What? HSK immediately executes the player, but Summer with 2 back-to-back makes it a triple, and he's going to ensure that the rest of MVP do not get off to any shenanigans. Bomb getting planted, however, is a little bit of a bonus there.
Oh, look at this. Tyloo heavily looking for this AK. They want to upgrade that MP9 or up into an AK-47. They will get the AUG. Still looking for the AK. I'm not sure where it's flown off to. It was on top of stairs before.
Can someone just defuse already?
There we go. Yeah. He's got that. So they saved the 3 rifles on the side of Tyloo, including 1 upgraded from the T side. That's a pretty good outcome. Over on the side of MVP, they should have a pretty good buy heading into this one. So all things considered, pretty equal on both sides.
Man, Zeph's sitting pretty 23 frags. That's insane. The only guy closest to him is Bentet, who's on 17. And of course, somebody on 12. Although we do see the rest of the players on Tyloo slowly starting to get a few frags here and there. You know, a little bit of... You just need a couple of those anti-eco rounds to pad the stats a little bit and feel better about yourselves.
Indeed you do. MVP, very, very passive approach from them in this round in particular. Just waiting for any kind of a push or a tell from Tyloo that they can potentially punish. And after a bit of light pressure on B Apartments, it looks like they're going to fall back and potentially go for some mid-control here. Though, a couple players sort of swapping places. You can see Zine going back into T-spawn and throwing a smoke into middle. So it looks like potentially some pressure on middle, which is going to be applied by Zeta, while MVP walk back towards this A bomb site. And you can see the shift in the rotations here from Tyloo as these 3 CTs head towards Connector, mid-window, and Cat. The push into Apartments from somebody gives a lot of information to Tyloo, so they should be pretty well aware of what's happening here for MVP. But that's a great pick for HSK to get that player not being a little bit too over-aggressive, playing retake there towards Ticket. MVP, are they going back?
This could... Are they overthinking this? No. They're going to be sending a Zeta for... They're setting him up early to cut off the rotation before it even takes place by the looks of things. And we do have the smokes primed and ready. They have 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, 3 flashbangs, and the smokes will be deployed. HSK is going to be walking on out. There is a player hiding towards Firebox. It's Bentet. He's going to peek on out. Oh, he gets a spray right. Finds Stacks. He's going to reposition himself. Somebody aware of Zeta's position is going to get taken down as well as Zine, though. Just finds one. Execute is going to join his teammate 2v2 as HSK finds Execute in return. And Benton, what can he possibly do? He can do a lot is the answer as somebody peeks on out to HSK. That was such a risky peek, but he peeks on out and wins the duel as Tyloo will get to round number 7. They've now won 3 in a row.
Unfortunately for MVP, that approach just didn't work very well for them as they had only 1 player committed out to Tetris there. They weren't trying to hard clear the bomb site because obviously they're trying to buy time for Zeta to come around in middle. And even somebody wins that duel with Zeta in middle towards that part of the map. And with that flash combo of Bentet peeking out from Firebox, at that point it's a 4-on-3 situation for MVP. Here comes the nade stack into window and Execute. He is somehow alive as one of those nades missed. MVP is storming up Con.
Should be careful about his design. Finds one to Benton and Summer. They're not going to miss those shots. And Fancy scopes in. Picks up a triple kill for himself. And it's a Zeta, but uh-oh.
Finally, he's got an AWP in his hands here, Blair. We've been waiting for it.
We've waited like almost 2 days then.
Right, fair enough.
Did that? Oh yeah, he threw it deep enough.
It's a big FU from Zeta. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, man. He's like, I don't care about the AWP. That's fine. He's gonna... Can he get the bomb down? They think he has the AWP. So obviously they're going to play this like a proper retake scenario in Zeta. I kind of... he played it smart. He threw it the AWP and showed he hurt their economy a little bit. He also got the bomb down. And Fancy's... Oh, he's aware.
No. He's too short.
Can he do it? Oh, no. He doesn't get it.
Why wasn't I born as a 7-foot giant? What's that Chinese basketball player's name?
I know who
he really wishes he was that guy right now.
Yeah, just like reach on over, just pick it up, right? But smart play from Mr. Zeta. But you know what? I wanted him to keep that up and go for the clutch.
Yeah, but that's Zeta being more sensible than you, Blair. You're the big plays guy. You love a bit of an AWP clutch. Zeta, he doesn't need the AWP clutch. Everyone
wants to see a 1v3. Everyone wants to see something ridiculous because that's why we watch this game that we all love and adore.
Well, Zeta's here to win more consistently, not be entertaining all of us. He doesn't care about Twitch chat. He just wants to win this game against Tyloo. Now MVP going to be making their way into Con and taking some mid-control here. Zine, a very, very fearsome player to be left on the lurk towards Palace, that's for sure. So if he is able to find some kind of an opening, one MVP pressure connector, that could be very, very troublesome for Tyloo. Can really see how scared MVP are of this mid-round aggression coming out from Tyloo. If they do a 1-3-1 setup, they're playing very passively, holding a lot of these angles, which has burnt the clock down a lot, but it's a 3-man A setup from Tyloo. And this looks like an A split coming in from MVP. Could be danger territory here.
By the way, the player's name is Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
And we shout out to Most Random Nerd on Twitch chat for letting me know that. I forgot his name.
Yeah. Giving us the most random facts.
Yeah, well, I mean, his name is Most Random Nerd, so yeah, perfect. Here we go. The peek comes in, but they walk into the smokes, and it is an absolute slaughter. As one player remains, HSK. He finds one. An Execute ready to trade his Indo bro. 9-11 the scoreline. Tyloo, they are surely but surely mounting this comeback here.
They are, but MVP still have plenty of cash to be able to buy up. And they will do so. Over on the side of Tyloo, pretty convincing round from them. Their money's doing pretty well as well. MVP playing very slowly, very hesitant. which has kind of been getting the better of them, even in that 5-on-4 scenario towards that A bomb site. The hesitancy is really what gave so much room for Ben10 and somebody to come back into that round. Last round in particular, again, just a little bit hesitant, taking their time, expecting Tyloo to push mid, but this time no hesitancy, straight out A, great flashbangs, and that's a nice entry to start things off for MVP here.
I like the way they're taking CD spawn controllers. Oh, oh Lord.
You gotta love that from Zeta. He's the one who got the initial entry. His teammate falls back. He just wide swings again. Look at the triple peak.
That's just, wow. I love the switch up coming in from MVP, to be honest. They really caught them off guard. You can see Summer was not expecting that. The second he peeked out, he gets double peeked.
Well, that's the second time he's been caught off guard playing retake from CT like that. And the round in particular before, the last time it happened was HSK AWPing out the ramp, and they lost that 5-on-4, being a little bit hesitant. Complete opposite approach here for MVP. Full decisiveness. They just go and absolutely destroy Tyloo, take CT spawn. They have run from where they buy guns to where their opponent buys guns. And they are buying guns all over the place.
They are. And like you said, although for Tyloo, decisions to be made. And they can actually buy into this. Attacker's got cash, now I can't see the money. It's attack timeout, probably being called by Jonta to just talk things through and decide what buy they're going to be going with here. The fact that the AUG is saved, one player is going to be strapped for cash.
100%, at least one.
At least
if
one.
Not multiple.
Yeah, but even the ones who buy up, it's not going to be exactly AUGs or rifles. It's going to be some UMPs or SMGs, some utility coming in. And they are going to be going for the buy here, Pilly. I can see an AWP coming out as well. I see UMP and AWP and AUG. Waiting on one of the other players to pick up whatever gun has been dropped on over. I don't see any guns on the floor there. But there we go. M4, A1. Okay, 2 M4s, the AUG, the UMP, and the AWP, which is not too bad at all. But the problem is with the M4 being purchased by somebody and Fancy, that means only 3 flashbangs for these 2 players. Attacker just has a smoke and a flash. There are no kits whatsoever. So retakes, not only don't they have a utility for the retake, but retakes are going to be a problem here, a pain here.
Could definitely be the case, but this kind of a buy can work totally fine on a map like Mirage, where you can get away with lesser utility and with some aggression here or there. HSK posted up the angle, but he doesn't get anything as a result of that. Very, very slow approach once again from MVP. Maybe potentially even expecting a save coming out of Tyloo, but all this utility being thrown will probably alert them to the fact that this is most likely a buy. And MVP, they're going to go straight back in towards this A bomb site where they've had success time and time again. Surely they didn't lose that, win that round where they got that pick early on and Ben10 absolutely cleaned them up. But I'd say for the most part, this has been their most successful site. And again, they're going to go back towards it here, Blair.
It could indeed work out. Molotov smokes. They're pretty much telegraphing exactly what they're going to be doing. HSK is going to be staying back behind, looking for any late flank coming in. Tyloo, they still have his X-Curate. And the good thing for MVP is, oh, somebody pushing in. That's going to be the tell. Now
that's
the rotation's
second time
coming.
He's done that.
It's a risky drop, but luckily for him, there's no one there to punish him for it. And here we go. 2 guys towards CT. They have Attacker there. They have another player that's Fancy dropping out towards Connector. And X-Curate missing a very uncharacteristic shot. He's going to re-peek out. He really shouldn't be doing this. Attacker on top of the stairs, and you can see all 5 players already. 26 seconds. This could be very bad indeed for MVP. But the trades are just going everywhere. Ben10 replies back, and all of a sudden it's all on Zine. 1v2 winnable. And Ben10 and X-Curate, they don't need to take the fight, and X-Curate's going to save his teammate. That was so very close. But Tyloo will cling on 10-12. But luckily for the Koreans, the money is looking so very good at the moment.
And somebody pushing that B apartments in both of these rounds on A gives so much certainty and so much information to Tyloo, which allows them to have the numbers on the bomb site to be able to trade back so well in the late parts of the round against MVP. That's the real difference maker in a round like that, where MVP, they've got to be kicking themselves, because let's look at the way they've been playing. They've been playing so slow, so spread out, and they've been holding those, you know, B apartments. They've been holding the top mid. They've been putting themselves in a formation where they should be saying to themselves, there's no way Tyloo would be pushing to find this information, because we've been holding it so often and punishing them potentially for that. But somebody's found that key timing 2 times in a row to be able to give so much information to Tyloo and be able to win these rounds.
MVP should have an inkling. The fact that Tyloo have had all their players stacked towards A every time they go for this, means that Tyloo knows something.
It's potentially, but the MVP is really telegraphing what they're doing so heavily. This time it's going to be a bit of a different pace. 4 players out Palace very, very early on here from MVP, and Excurit's playing retake on the ticket. He could get heavily caught off guard here.
Finds one. Oh, he gets immediately... Well, he doesn't get traded, but Zeta and Zeph getting 2 quick kills. Excurit's being spotted out. He's going to run it through... What is going on, the Zeph? What are you doing? He's just bouncing around like a madman. He's just bouncing around. He's just playing like a surf map, and he finally gets taken by somebody. But what an utter maniac. He knew the Opera was there, and he was just going to push in. And that just wins the round for MVP. So fast-paced, and both, you saw both attacker, I do believe it was attacker towards near connector, and Excurit, both of them are kind of caught like in 2 months. Wait, they're pushing in right now. They're about to toss in a Molotov, but the sheer pace that MVP threw at these guys, they really had no answer for it.
How does Zeph move like that? This guy's like 50+ years old at this point, and he can jump around like that. It's unbelievable.
I don't think it's that. Oh yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's just styling on these people here.
He's having a bloody map for himself right when MVP needed it.
How much is he on right now?
25 kills. Look at him go. Stacks as well. Great performance. The rest of the lads just contributing as much as they, you know.
On the other side, we have Benton and 22. Pretty close by. But, my lord, Zeph. I think he's heard me bitch too much about him on his stream, saying, you know what? We need his young kids to, like, really carry the Korean CS flag. I don't know why the old guys are still sticking around. He's like, listen, this is why. Because my name is Zeph.
He could still move like he's about 15 years old. I'm not even sure I could pull that off, honestly.
And you're just like, what, 10?
Yeah, I'm like at least 7.5. And now Tyloo with the AWP and the AK, that's pretty much the only talking point really in this round in particular. MVP looking like they should be able to close this one out pretty cleanly, but they need to make sure that they can do it. Can't be losing against the Pistols.
I'd like to see somebody immediately rotate over to the A-bomb side right now.
It's not going to do it.
Do they have the rifle there? Yeah, Bentet's there. Let's see what MVP do again. Again, it's the A-bomb side. Fancy that spot with that USB is going to get completely annihilated the moment. They're just going to come free-firing around through the box anyway. Here they come setting up the smokes, the second round of smokes, and so many Molotovs to use as well. The smokes are raining in. The default wall towards the jungle, Molotov towards Sandwich. Nice smoke from the CTs towards Palace, keeping that one player at bay. Fancy hasn't peeked out yet. And here comes the push. Stacks waiting. They haven't checked the corner yet. No one. Stacks should check it. Stacks should check it. Stacks should check it. No one checking it. Come on, come on. And Fancy finds one, looking for more, but a quick trade does come in. But Bented, sorry, attacker, unfortunately not able to find more than just one kill. And somebody with the op. Are they going to go for the double peek? Yes, they are! And it's going to be Zion. Beautifully played there. They knew that was a very risky play because the bomb was dropped out in the open. MVP played it almost to perfection, 14-10.
Tyloo's money is still so cooked, though. Like, even if this 14-10 scoreline, you almost would have liked to see them go for a buy-up in the last round where at least they had the AWP and the rifle. Because, like, this one's not much better, honestly. Look at this, like, 2 M4s, some UMPs, a FAMAS. It's not the greatest, Blair. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I would have liked to see somebody rotate early on and position himself in a good spot there.
He needed to be the difference maker with the AWP and potentially a missed opportunity there towards the B apartments.
But it's all about, it's also, MVP have so far usually had a pretty good read on how rotations usually work for their opponents. And I would be surprised if MVP, after they spotted out somebody over at B, went for a late hit towards the B bomb side either. So really can't blame him. It's easier, you know, in hindsight to take a look at it and be like, yeah, you should have done that. But 10-14, the scoreline. MVP now 2 rounds away from taking the W on Tyloo's map pick and tying the series up and taking us all to overpass to decide who is going to be the winner of this particular matchup. Do you see HSK creeping up? It's going to be the difference maker here.
Look at the rotations from Tyloo. They've completely given up this B apartments area. They're all centralized around middle and A. As soon as this A execute comes in, it's going to be up to Zeta to control the rotations coming in from those 2 players towards B. Again, it's the execute coming out for MVP towards A.
And Zeph again leading the charge before the smokes even deploy. And he's going to catch him off guard, but Summer with a beautiful flick replies back. And now it's time for, actually Summer from Shadow getting the kill. Execute gets a frag as well, and one by one they're falling apart. This time around it won't work out, and Zeta, despite being the lurk, can get nothing done.
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure what he's doing at top mid boxes there. Like, the execute's coming in from his teammates. Obviously, they're setting it up for the late backstab. But the fact of the matter is that he didn't control any of those mid rotations, which means that MVP is basically 4v5ing Tyloo, who are all running onto that bomb site taking fights. And with no smokes up, there's nothing to stop Tyloo from just wide swinging all those angles from connector and jungle. Summer doesn't get cleared out from under balcony. All fell apart there for MVP.
Luckily for them, they do have money in the coffers to make things work. They can go for a very, very comfortable buy. Well, unless I'm very much mistaken, can't really see the money here, but I do believe his attack pause getting called by MVP.
Speaking of a comfortable buy, though, 5 CTs alive. It's pretty darn good for the money, Blair.
It is good for the money, and the terrifying thing for the boys over at MVP is if Tyloo managed to win string a couple of rounds together, their money could get broken at the worst time possible. Right now, if it loses, their money's broken. Yeah.
Yeah, that could get Tyloo straight back into this game. This is their chance to close it out, and they're just going straight towards this A-bomb site. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see them charge into CT once again. Summer's going to be the one playing retake rather than execute in this round in particular, which could be the big difference maker.
They're going to be coming out dry. Again, they're just going to be walking out, but this time Attacker is there. Summer getting the kill with the flames, and Attacker somehow alive in the smoke. What a cheeky lad he is. And HSK is going to be careful. The flashbang is great. Oh my lord, what a gaudy flashbang. It's all on Excret and Bented, the Indo duo. And Excret, he spots 2, doesn't know which direction to aim at. He misses the flick shot, and the Mac-10 is doing it all, putting in all the work. It's all in Bented now. 1v2. And Zine from above, raining death and hellfire, takes him down 15-11. MVP PK. They make this A side their home.
Talk about a ballsy wide swing from Zine. 7 HP and you're wide swinging Bentet from the top of stairs. All right, mate, if it works for you, I suppose I can't really criticize you, but I don't know. HSK as well, running around like a madman with the Mac-10. How do MVP get these rounds done, Blair?
It's magical, some people might say. Well, that's the Korean side. 1 round away from taking us to the 3rd map here. And they switch it up.
Yeah, they're going to try to close it out with a short split, it looks like. Smokes in towards middles there. That puts a lot of pressure on Attacker. He's not going to be re-peaking that angle anytime soon, I'll tell you that, Blair. Close A ramp controller's going to give a little bit of information towards Tyloo, but this split's coming in.
Split is coming in indeed, and Bentet catches Zeta jumping and gunning, and HSK with it off. This guy is just a rock, doesn't miss those easy ones, but the fact that his CTs have been pushed out to me, so they have to retake.
With SMGs and no utility, this would be a big misplay if MVP didn't win this one.
And then Molotov as well. They need to go for the play right about now. The problem is, look at where HSK is. He is gonna have no trouble landing a shot unless the peek from above really walks up, but the flick shot could work out as well. Flashbang will be avoided. He's gonna peek on out, and Bentet drops straight into his crosshairs. Zeph will find another one as well. Excret has a lot of work to do. He's so far away. He goes for a jumping shot. Can he find a frag? Yes, he does. Summer finds one as well, switching over to the USP. And it's going to be all one man remaining alive, but they don't know where Stax is. They don't know where Stax is. He can clutch his one out. They have 0 clue, but now he's going to give himself away. But Summer turns around, and how, in the name of all that is beautiful, did they even win that round?
That's a misplay from MVP. They're not playing off each other at all. You can see Stax hiding behind the bench while his teammates are fighting. Why are you playing for the late round? Just hold on onto the market or peek off of short. There's no reason for these players not to be peeking off of each other. Once you let Tyloo onto the bomb site with those SMGs and the rifles, it becomes 10 times easier for them to convert the retake. They're allowing them to just run out market and up short. You're meant to be locking them out of that area, not hiding behind objects and hoping for the best.
I mean, they have the weaponry, and you're going to allow the SMGs to get in that close. It's always going to be it favoring the CTs, but I don't even know how they won this one. This is just insane.
It's just a big mistake from MVP. It's a lack of knowledge in how to close out that post plan over towards the B side of the map. Someone, at least one player, has made a mistake with whatever angle they're holding, with whatever protocol they've set up to be able to close out that late round. There's something lacking there, because that is not a round that Tyloo should be able to ever come away with, Blair. That should have been the game right there and there.
Well, they have indeed. And again, we're in the same spot where MVP, they're digging in deep, scraping the bottom off that money barrel. They have 2 MAC-10s, the SG, the Galil, 2 Galils, not a single AK-47. And then they have the AWP and have everything going the way of Tyloo. And for MVP, if they lose this round, Pilly, that means they're going to be broke on it. That's going to allow Tyloo to get to 14 rounds.
Here's the B execute, though, and the only player here is somebody with the UMP. He finds himself 1 and is buying time for these rotations. How is he getting away with this? This guy does not stop moving.
Oh, Excred. Whoa, what is going on with Excred today? He is so very lost, getting stuck at the edge. And the 2v3 bomb yet to get planted. I don't think they can retrieve that AWP because Bentet has that crosshair of his trained towards the market entrance. They're very wary that a flank is going to be coming in. Bentet boosted up. They're waiting for both of them. It's pretty much a Mexican standoff here in Asia.
Yeah, well, it's a 3-on-2 and MVP. They feel like they have to push at this point to be able to create an advantage in this round. HSK is finally going to put the bomb down.
He's picked up the AWP. Zine has picked up the AWP.
Yeah, could definitely be a factor in this round in particular. Now Fancy starting to edge his way into the market. 2 of these players retaking from short. Attacker's only got himself an MP9. He flashes up that short angle. Great smoke to allow them to get closer here, Blair.
Summer is pushing in, but Zine strikes, but he's going to fall immediately, and Summer is there to find the head of HSK's. The fact that they get the bomb down is a little bit of money, but MVP's economy is completely in the dumpster here, Pelly. Well, not completely. They can force it out, but I would rather eco in and bind in the final round.
Yeah, I'd like to see them go for CZs and armor here. Maybe potentially go for a quick one-up connector or something like that, because it's getting pretty one-dimensional the way that MVP is playing. They're playing very execute-heavy, which, sure, that does put a lot of pressure on this Tyloo team, especially with how low their economies be. But now that they're starting to string these rounds together and they have the utility to be able to fall back on, it's not going to work nearly as well as it has been in the last couple of rounds. You can see MVP just having a chat, trying to work out what's the best approach to be closing out this game in the future.
Well, we mentioned MVP with their with his pistols. They're gonna be playing it extremely passively. Are they gonna go for the classic fake A, plan B? Looks like it. Could even work out. And if they get the bomb down, there's just one player towards the B bomb site.
This is how much MVP have hit this A bomb site in this half, man.
They're terrified.
Nothing's happened and they're literally just like, it's A. Has to be.
Well,
plus somebody's fearless. He's probably the kind of guy who's like, don't worry, guys. Even if he's got 5 Ts running at, he's like, I got this. Easy.
He probably is one of those madmen. The fact that Zeta is coming up towards this. Does he have a Molotov? No, he doesn't. He's got no utility.
This is so weird, yeah. Somebody has absolutely no util, exactly. And he just gets absolutely blown out of the water. Look at the rotations coming out from Tyloo. All 4 of them, like, this is not a good scenario. They're over-rotating. You can see just how, like, what's the word? Just how jumpy Tyloo are in this game right now. MVP's throwing them for a loop at every
fake. It's a fake. It's a fake. And the thing is that guy going to stick around? Oh, yeah, they don't know. Oh, this is smart from Attacker. Yeah, there we go. He's got this. Yeah, he's got this. There we go. Bomb down. Can someone just explain to me what somebody's thought process has been this entire game? Like, both the maps. Like, some of the decision-making coming out from him just makes no sense to me. For example, you're alone on the bomb site. You know if you get taken down, that's a bomb site completely free for the taking. In a round where your opponents are on map point, you have no utility to make your escape. You're going to just jump spot. Instead, you're going to get on top, go for the wide peak with no information whatsoever after having heard a gunshot towards apartments, knowing there's at least one guy with a Desert Eagle who could take your head clean off, yet he goes for the play. Why?
How can you have thoughts if you don't have the brain screwed on, you know? The brain's not turned on today for somebody.
Yeah, somebody is having... I love the guy, though. Like, when he makes some of his plays and it works, it is truly delightful to watch. He has made me a very happy man multiple times. But 100%. At times, he really does make me want to shoot myself. Honestly. Not literally, of course. Never take that literally. But yeah, you know what I mean. He can be such a frustrating player to watch. But look at him. He's on 20 kills as well.
No, he always has good stats. And he's easily one of the best players, if not in the argument for the best player in Asia, for sure. But
yeah, which is so weird. Like, everyone's like, yeah, he's probably the best team.
but there is definitely something wrong with him.
There is something wrong with him. Maybe that's why he gets all these kills. Meanwhile, can we all appreciate that Hansel Bentet-Ferdinand is on 30 kills, by the way. He has been the difference maker for his team as we go into the final round of regulation.
MVP, they're going to go for this mid control. A little bit of pressure. 2 players towards the underpass. A very different look from them. Molotov into the window to allow these underpass players to move a little bit closer. It's going to be Zeph. He's had such a good game for himself, and if he digs deep, he's going to have a double connector set up with Bentet and Attacker to deal with here, and they are leaning very heavily towards A, and somebody's soloing that B bomb site once again. You can see that bomb being left towards B, which probably indicates that this is going to be a B play at the end of the day. Zion picking that up and meeting up with Stacks as Zeph makes his way into Con. Oh, Bentet gets the better of him. That's a huge frag for Tyloo to get. Now, MVP, all they have left is this B split. They clean up Bentet in the connector, and it's all on somebody here.
So somebody once told me that he was a player to be feared, and he just finds one, unfortunately, and now it's going to come down to Attacker finds one, gets a second kill as well, and ladies and gentlemen, we just might be seeing OT here. Zine, 4 HP in a 1v2, can he clutches one out, almost walks into the flames, 30 seconds. And there's a player there waiting towards short, and I don't think he has any idea. Xcrit just running around. He gets caught on now, and it's Zine. One headshot is all he needs, but Summer will save the day. OT, baby.
And you really just have to say MVP threw that one in the bin, man. Like, they took advantage of these opportunities that they were given yesterday by Vici to close out the game. This day in particular, you have to go back to some of those rounds from MVP that they should have won every single day of the week. That retake on the B-bomb site from Tyloo, that should have been the map right there and then from MVP. But they're just looking so hesitant. They're looking so scared at the moment, and these rounds are coming so close, but Tyloo's been winning them all in the later parts of this game here.
11-4, 11-4. Both teams only able to get 4 rounds on the T side. And in the end, overtime, MVP, man, they had so many opportunities to close this one out and take it to map 3 where everything just pretty much gets reset. But now Tyloo, they know, Pele, that they can just close the series out early on. Xcrit can feel better, and he can take us out for dinner later.
That would be good. I don't know how much better he's feeling at the moment. The little bit underperformance from the man. My favorite AWPer in Asia. All those highlights of him going international and just 1v4ing and blowing everyone out of the water. It's not like, really up to his normal standards.
It's like he can't play domestic. He's only good against good teams. It's like he gets better the better his opponents are. But right now, dual op setup, Xcrit and somebody. And of course, we have Attacker, Fancy, and Bentet on the Augs for MVP. AKs all around, and AWP in the hands of Mr. HSK. And it is going to be once more a slow approach. You see the bomb again being dropped near towards the B apartments area where, yeah, Pili, I think, although to be honest, if I was MVP, I would keep abusing that A bomb site time and time again.
Well, they're not looking like it because they're going to go towards middle here. Stacks throws a smoke over there towards top mid. And come the flashes from MVP, and you can see Bentet edging his way over towards short, and 2 players towards the top of connector here. It looks like Tyloo may go for some aggression in the mid-round. Good little obs there. Shows that somebody has full control over this B apartments.
Somebody gonna walk all the way out towards TV room with that op scoped in. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but he shouldn't. Oh, but he's in a good spot. He can actually get this kill if they do continue to push in out. Is he gonna stick around? No, he's not. The smart man will fall on back. Flashbang from the good old Stacks to try and peek out and make some noise here. But what's the play? They are going to be going for the B wrap.
Yeah, and this is very much telegraphed. It looked like Attacker was actually going to go and stack B there, but he's actually second-guessed himself. He's gone back towards Jungle, which is going to put a lot of pressure here on somebody and Bentet.
Oh no, though. They get both the kills. And that's side taken over, and they have the man advantage as well. Somebody needed to get at least one frag there. And look at Attacker just pushing his way through. Can he find one? No, he can't. Zeph will reply back, and Xcrit decides that he's getting the hell out of here. There's no chance for him to really go for this. But that being said, Summer is just floating around looking for some exits. Is he feeling it?
That's a great...
Are they going for the retake? They are. They are going for this one.
They may as well. They got 16k, right?
Oh! Zeta in the flames just walks on out and utterly annihilates Fancy. And that's a very good round for MVP. Like, you're right. This... Okay. Just finds one. Zeph jumping around like Mario. Will stomp Xcrit into the ground. And MVP, they get their first round on the overtime.
Well, that's really just off the back of Tyloo. They have a real lack of information at A because they're playing retake on ticket every single round. They're so scared of MVP going back towards this A bomb site. They hit it so much in regulation that it's really limiting how much info Tyloo has over towards A and making it easier for MVP to turn this mid control into a B split. Tyloo can't inform their rotations. You can see how scared Attacker is running back and forth between jungle or whether he wants to stack B, second guessing himself. And now Tyloo, they're going to go for a bit of a different setup. First time we've seen them go for potentially a little bit of a push or some information towards middle, which is pretty common in the current meta of Mirage. That smoke onto window is very, very standard in the top tier of CS, but we haven't seen it in any of these Mirage games from the Asian teams at all. MVP, very, very passive setup from them. Again, they're going to do the exact same take on mid. Could potentially turn it into a B split once again. It worked wonders for them last time, but this time they're going to have Attacker to contend with. Looks like MVP, they're very much aware that this is a possibility here for Tyloo.
It's kind of interesting how, of all the teams who had a more interesting Mirage side, it was the boys over at Boot and Execute. Nice flick on his Zeta, but HSK with immediate trade. Very ballsy play for MVP, by the way. Two guys top mid, waiting for the smoke to dissipate, and then catching the player over at jungle, over at the window off guard. But it does go their way. 4v4.
So it's still a double setup towards A here for Tyloo into the late round again, leaving somebody solo on this B bomb site. Smoke goes onto the top of connector, and it really looks like, once again, MVP's winding up this B split. They do Molotov the bricks, and then push up on those bricks, and Attacker's making his way into market. Somebody solo on the bomb site, gets his head ripped off by Stacks. That's a lot of pressure on Attacker.
I thought he got a second kill there, but no. He will be found out as when Tyloo. Things are falling apart for the Chinese-Indonesian squad here. Fancy and Bentet. Bear in mind, it's 10k OT money, so they've already lost all their guns in the previous round. They're going to be broke.
Oh, is it 10k, not 16?
Yeah, it is 10k.
Okay.
So they're definitely broke, which is why I was surprised why Exert went for those.
I thought it was 16. Are you sure, Blur?
I could be wrong. I think it's 10k. We'll see right now.
Well, next round, not this round. But you are right. Their money, it's definitely 16k.
It's 16k. It's 16k.
Yeah, they got tons of money. It's fine, Blair. Relax.
That makes sense.
It's okay. Execute. He might lack a little bit of util, but he can probably get an AWP dropped over from a friend, which he will do. He actually can't buy himself a kit, but that's about it. Tyloo still with a very, very good buy into this one, but the double AWP setup is really going to scrape the bottom of the barrel for somebody who won't have utility over towards that B bomb site. Bit of a missed molly there from MVP, and again, a very passive setup from them. But these two players in Palace really should indicate to us here, as the viewers, that they're probably going to go towards this A-bomb site later on in the round.
Yep.
Although, maybe it's just HSK posting on the angle, and Zion's now been left there as usual. Swapping around is MVP, the two smokes, or at least just a single smoke, and they're going to go for this mid-take once again. You can see a pretty centralized approach, a 1-3-1 setup for Tyloo in this round in particular, as they will try to go towards that middle. Somebody, again, is deep in B apartments, getting plenty of information here. Under a little bit of pressure from Zeph, but he is very close. This can really inform Tyloo's rotates. Oh my god, what a... he just runs at him!
I love it.
That's a somebody classic right there, and that's a lot of information for Tyloo. You can see they don't have to budge in the rotations whatsoever. Very well aware that MVP is in middle right now, and they can set up. Look, even somebody's left the B bomb side. He even knows this is mid and A.
Bentet finding one from the ladder room. Somebody, he's just floating with death at this point. Look at his health, it's at 11 HP. He's still floating around. So very, very risky indeed at Bentet. Oh, the Flames do lick his toes, but they don't know it, and somebody finds one more. And he'll do the smart thing. Falls on back, repositions himself. In meantime, Zine snaps on his Summer, and he's going to be all on Zine, and that's all he'll find. The Execute's going to find the frag. 17-16. MVP still with the one-round lead, though, and we all know how Tyloo have struggled on the T side.
Well, in this game they have. Yesterday it wasn't the worst T side in the world. You could see the fundamentals were definitely there against 5 power. So I think that MVP, they had a really good run on their CT side, but this could be the potential for Tyloo to actually have a much better T side in overtime, particularly here, Blair. So that last round in particular, I have to point towards somebody just going so aggressive in big apartments.
Can someone who has more energy than myself or Pili make a Make a video compilation of somebody's plays in the past.
And can
3
you?
months.
What I want you to do is I want you to take a picture of his blank expression and just turn the opacity down to like 80%. So it's just a transparent background of somebody like staring off into space with the blank expression that he always has as he just does the most psycho plays you've ever seen in Counter-Strike.
I swear to God. Like, I've never seen any player play the way he does at a level of Counter-Strike he's playing at right now, to be very honest. It's insane how he makes it work. And sometimes it doesn't work, of course, but sometimes he does manage to make things work by pulling off the impossible. As the overtime will resume, MVP now on the more favored side.
Yeah, they had a really good run on the CT side, so the fact that they're able to get 2 of those T rounds is going to put them in a great position to be able to close this game out. Double AWP over on the side of MVP, and Tyloo go for a quick play towards the A bomb side. It's going to be Zion playing retake with Zeto, and very quick one for Tyloo, setting the pace straight out here. Zion can't get a single thing as Attacker blows his head off. This is the site wide open, and CT spawn control, and Summer just wide peak Zeph. That's the round over right there, and Tyloo should be evening this up pretty quickly, Blair.
Yep. Tyloo giving a taste of MVP, giving a taste MVP of their own medicine.
Yep.
And there we go. Zeta getting thrown out. I do forget how to English sometimes, Pilly. That's why we have you. But then again, you speak Australian, so we're all kind of screwed here.
Going to need to import somebody else to make up for our deficits, Blair, of which there are many.
Jordan's coming in tomorrow.
Well, he speaks Australian as well. Or maybe he speaks German.
Yeah, I don't know.
He does speak German. I
know
know that for a fact.
Like, he speaks like good German?
Decent German.
Okay, so that's more than I can speak. All I know is
I think
9.
he speaks a little bit. Like maybe he can hold a very basic conversation.
That's good enough, man. I wish I could speak more languages.
You already speak more than me, so.
Yeah, I speak 3. Yeah. How many do you speak?
I wish I could speak more languages. Only 3. I speak 1.
All right. Scores are tight.
Badly.
17 all. Well, mine's pretty terrible as well, to be very honest. 17 all. Scores tied.
Okay.
And of course, it's 16K by money, so you can... risky from HSK there. Luckily for him, the timing works. He's going to get the first kill. Of course he is. He's going to re-peek out. No, it's not. He's going to play the smart. He's going to just get the first kill. Repositions himself. Actually, he's going to be set... Somebody, of course it's somebody, what else? As he will find one, but Zeph replies back with the 1-2. And now Bentet, he knows where one player is. I think he got spotted out there. He should be careful. There's a player there waiting for him. It's all an execute. And look at how smart Zion is. He hasn't shown himself at all. And finally, when he does, he only shows himself when he is guaranteed the frag. 18-17 from MVP. And Tyloo now having to win the next round to take it to double overtime.
So pretty common strat that you see in top tier T sides at the moment that Tyloo just tried to pull, where you throw those wall of smokes across the right side of A and send the players out middle. And the whole idea is that you're causing those connector players on the CT side to just rotate off and try to find the picks through the smokes towards A, and you catch them off with the pace that you set in middle. And you can flash off that short angle or smoke it off and just come up con. Doesn't quite work out for them, though, especially with how clean some of those first frags went in the favour of MVP. Made that round a hell of a lot easier for them to win, thanks to your boys HSK and obviously Zeph holding like a rock towards jungle. So now it's do or die here for Tyloo. This strat has to work to push them into another overtime, and they're going to go back to the tried and tested. The double smokes on the right side, they've thrown them every single round. Here comes the flash over the top.
Zion spots. Oh, no one spots him out. But oh, they should be aware of him. He gets a dink in, and now HSK finds one, trades, raining in thick and fast, and somebody gets on top of the box, gets the kill. He's going to swap one over to the off.
How does he multi-frag on 3 HP?
Because somebody does not give a damn. He is a madman as X-Grid. The dual op 2v2 post plan, and the pot back-to-back. Look at this. 2 ops back-to-back, one looking towards CT, one towards the bomb side, and Zeph is taking the long route here. Stax knows there's at least one player.
He's got a flash. He could actually flash Zeph on the line here.
Oh, it's all about timing. It's all about timing. The player from the Palace, is somebody going to peek on out? Yes, he's going to peek on out. There's no one there, and Zeph finds him. But X-Grid, they're not going to be expecting both the players are, but where else could the other player be is the question they probably have on their lips, and Zeph is ready and waiting. X-Grid lands a shot, and is he going to stick it? Stax taps it once, flashbang. Oh, he He lands it and he takes a sweet time and he finishes it off. I thought he'd panic and take out a pistol, but no, Xcurate, despite of having a pretty rough day of Counter-Strike, he manages to hold his own and clutches out a crucial round indeed. And that is going to be overtime number 2.
And it looks really derpy on our screen, but Stax, on his screen, he's fully in that smoke. He can't be aware that his legs are hanging out the side of it. Just because of how the camera sort of functions in CSGO, it looks a little bit whack. But regardless, really have to point towards somebody. That should have been going the way of MVP PK, but somebody on 3 HP. He picks Zeta. He gets that player towards CT spawn as well. And there you go. Xcurate closes out the end of that round as well. So Tyloo digging deep with the individual plays.
The players who have been kind of having a rough day, really stepping it up in that one round. Somebody, like you mentioned, getting 2 multi-kills. A multi-kill, 2 frags on 3 HP, and the next with the 1v2 clutch.
But that was another missed opportunity for MVP.
To close it out, and it gets reset again. Now it's pretty much all things balanced out. Although I think the stats got reset there. That's unfortunate because I wanted to see how many frags Bentet and Zeph could really pull off. We can check that out later.
I think there's a website for that.
I wonder what it's called.
It might be stats.com
or Half-Life Television.
No, this isn't Half-Life. This is Counter-Strike. Damn it, Blair.
Listen, man. Oh, somebody gets pushed out. And of course, he gets taken down. And Tyloo looking to...
You won't just jump into window. Yes, he will, you madman. And look how clued Zeta is.
These are some very questionable decisions. I don't know why they're going so fast. They still have so much time here, and Zeta will fall. But guess who's waiting? It's Zine, and he's going to have no trouble getting the second kill. Look at how low the player is. That is attacker. He's going to get the bomb down. What a madman. And he's going to finally get taken down. How is he still alive? How is he still standing? There we go. Gets bodied into the ground. And a very strange run from Tyloo gets put to an end.
Yeah, the thing is that, once again, they were trying to go towards that B execute, which is a little bit harder to pull off in overtime due to just how much utility the CTs have, and you can see that's what makes it so hard for somebody to come out. Apartments there. He tries to create the space and waste the utility of the CTs, but just ends up basically getting himself killed, and from there it's much harder for Tyloo to come out with that same entry power towards the big bomb site. They panic, they try to over-rotate back towards middle, and Fancy gets punished by Zeta trying to jump into the window, and now here's the pace being set from Tyloo, a 1-3-1 setup from them as they try to go for mid control and go for connector. Zeta's used a bit of his utility, and there you go, Stax getting in the face of somebody. He's sick of somebody running around in this T apartments and taking advantage of MVP. Well, now, there's the connector control for Tyloo, but they've lost the man advantage again here, Blair.
They have lost a man advantage indeed. And again, MVP, they give themselves a good start, not able to quite close it out every single time. And here they come bursting in through the smoke. It works out somewhere. Oh, there was no need for him to do that, but at least the fact that he gets taken down conveys information where he is from an attacker. He's finally been put to rest. He gets 3 kills before he gets taken down. The bomb is planted for Mr. Bentet. Xcurate with the opposite. Well, crosses on over! That is unnecessary for Xcurate. That's going to force Bentet to reposition himself.
Very winnable. You wouldn't expect a player in sandwich in the post plant at this scenario as well. So he's going to be able to isolate this 2-on-1, but the spacing is so good from MVP. Excellent, excellent fundamentals. They're literally right on top of each other, holding hands. And they're going to hold their hands all the way into the second CT victory for themselves, in another great position to be able to close out this game. But as we've seen so far, every time they put themselves in a good position, they can have a bit of a struggle. So again, another chance for Tyloo to get a T round on the board. This has been a pretty flawless CT side from MVP. Both rounds, they got the first pick on somebody, and now he's going to take the AWP towards B apartments. He's pissed off now. Oh no, he's actually in the middle. My bad. Maybe he's been banned from B apartments.
No more B for you. As 2018 MVP, they can make this a flawless CD side in the second overtime. And then on the T side, they just need 1 round to close this one out.
Yep. Xcurate throwing utility over towards B while somebody tries to find an AWP pick. And they've done a little bit of a swap of the old roles here. pressure on middle for Tyloo and MVP. Very, very passive hold from them. They're not interested in dueling this middle area whatsoever. It's just going to be Zeta hiding in jungle once again.
Smoke, but that's just one smoke. That is going to be the tell that cons could be compromised, but Tyloo not really taking advantage of that. They are tossing these things in to try and keep majority of his MVP players towards this A bombs and Bentet. He hears that. He hears that. Zeta though, he will walk on back, and the 3 players ready and waiting. Guess who gets the opening kill? Stax is still holding the line here.
What? They're just going back?
It's all about timing. If Bentet, if he gets his kill, no, he doesn't. Zeta will have an inkling that they're coming back. And look at Stax's repositioning. He sees the back of the guy with the C4, and he is gonna toss in the smoke as well. This is gonna be very, very hard for Tyloo to win there because they're getting completely shut down. Stax finds another one. It is all gonna come down to the X-Script with the 2 more players in the side, but they're all falling like flies. What is going on? It's a 1-2v2 right now. Fancy an X-Script. They could pull this one off, Pilly. As HSK with the op, not the best of guns to go for this retake. They have a kit. They have 2 kits though, and HSK rounds off a shot, switches over to the AK-47, and he will go for this retake from the short area where his teammate is there with him. X-Script. AK-47 towards the bench. They don't know where he is yet. They spot him out. Do they not see him? I guess they don't. They're playing too passive, but Extra with a beautiful shot. He doesn't know where the other player is. Doesn't matter. Summer is there with Overwatch from above, and Tyloo ensures that they at least get 1 round. Some breathing space going into the second half of this overtime.
Man, MVP on this B bomb site just seem incapable of covering each other whenever these fights get messy. You know, you go back to that retake from Tyloo where they're all just hiding behind certain pillars. They did it again. They're in like a 5-on-3 situation, Blair. There's no way Summer and Excurate should be able to win that round. It's ridiculous. They're all just hiding with their face into the wall. No one's covering each other.
This is rough. If you're MVP, they could have made it a flawless half, Billy. 2v5.
That would have been
2v5. They're not even out of the apps. They're not even out of the apps. They don't even have time. There's 20 seconds on the clock. It's a 2v5. You have 3 players on the B bomb side. The T's are still stuck inside apartments, and you somehow manage to lose it?
Yeah, because the 2 T players, they get on the bomb site, and all 3 of the MVP guys are literally looking at a wall. And then the other 2 players across the other side of the map. Oh, I can't take it. MVP literally look genius 99% of the time, but there's something about that B bomb site. Must be some kind of a gas going off there that makes everyone get a little bit silly.
Well, they do indeed look a little silly. A little silly, Philly.
Haha, rhymes.
Top love. Anyway,
you ever thought you could be a rapper there, Blair?
I wanted to. I tried, but then again, you know what? I'm not in the right place to be a rapper. But here we go. Straight out. Going for the contact play towards A. They tried it a couple of times before during regulation. It worked wonderfully for them, but this time around, is the attacker going to drop on down? No, he's not. Smart play from him. Zep is going to go for the default. Not a default plant, but a plant. And he gets it right in time, but attacker, like a demon from above, he finds 2, and HSK now in a 1v5. He needs to go for the frags. He needs to reposition himself. He's going to find another one. Great shot on X-Squared. Looking for the 3rd, but the no-scope doesn't quite hit. If that had landed, Pilly, I was starting to believe. Unfortunately, Tyloo, well, unfortunately for MVP, rather, Tyloo will tie things up.
Yeah, and especially in the first round of overtime, if you're MVP and you get shut down that heavily on the A bomb site, it might really disincentivize you to go for that kind of a push in these next couple of rounds of OT. All right, so what's the approach here going to be for MVP after getting absolutely just destroyed on that fast A plate?
36 kills for Bentet, Zeph on 38. They are indeed pulling not just their weight, but pulling their team's weight as well, one might say. As the score is being tied, MVP, whatever advantage they had has been quickly neutralized.
Here's a 2-1-2 setup for MVP, putting a bit of pressure on the extremities, but now you see these T's starting to walk back towards T-spawn, which probably indicates they're going to go for this mid-control again and maybe into some kind of a B-split, which has worked pretty well for them previously. Smoke onto top mid from Stax once again, and the flashes should be flying out middle. You can see this again, a 1-3-1 setup from Tyloo, ready for this mid-control to come out. It's going to be attacker and actually Fancy over there towards the top of Con, because this time it's going to be Execute playing retake. Bentet, rarely someone who gets caught out, gets away with it though.
That was very close. That was very, very close. He will escape the skin of his teeth. With 52 seconds on the clock, MVP have control of mid. But this re-aggression... Okay, alright. Attacker's gonna die now. He has to die now. Wait, but not a checking! What is going on? How do they... Why are they staring into walls when you know they might be pushing out? Like, there is no information.
Worked it out. MVP, what they're doing is they're looking at the textures and they're changing the setting to see how much the textures change between low and high. That's the only explanation at this point.
I'm honestly trying to comprehend some of these plays coming in. And somebody, it's all about timing. Molotov's got, he's been spotted out. It's a done and done spot. One and done spot, but he finds two anyway. But Zeph replies back with a quick double of his own, but time is not their friend. Fancy just needs to find one kill, but HSK destroys him. And
bomb.
it's all the X-Grid. The bomb's not there. And X-Grid, he just needs to stay alive. They don't have the time. He gets the kill. Get his alive. Don't fight. Doesn't need to fight, but he gets taken down. Who wins the round? Tyloo does. They don't have time. Oh my lord. Oh my lord, what was that round, Philly? What was that round?
I don't even need to infect you with my virus, Blair. You're going to lose your voice at this point.
I'm losing my voice.
Every game, there's been something like this. Every single series so far in this group. And I thought Southeast Asia was getting silly. What the hell was that round? Zeph drops 40 as well, and they're still struggling to get it done. MVP, they've had like 3, 4, 5, 6 chances at closing out this game and winning these important rounds, and they're just throwing them in the bin, man. All right, so what's the play going to be here for MVP? Again, very, very slow stuff. Honestly, they look a little bit mentally exhausted. This might be a reset round as somebody's probably disconnected.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a reset. But Tyloo on map and match point, Pilly. Oh my, I'm still trying to recover from the previous round. I think I kind of ripped my throat open.
Someone from MVP who's disconnected. It is
Stacks.
It's Zeta.
Zeta. All right.
Named and shamed Zeta. Come on, mate. Get the internet working. You can't just put a big anticlimax after that. You can't just plug pull after you lose the round. Not fair to everyone else.
I need something to calm me down.
More coffee. That
Yeah,
seems to be the main thing you put into your body.
I think coffee is the solution. Yeah, coffee's always the solution.
All right. Dear Lord. It feels like MVP, if they won every round that they should have won, they would have won this game like 10 times over, Blair.
Yeah, we could probably be at the end of map number 3 by now.
We could have already decided what was for dinner tonight. We got to book our table. Come on. They're not letting us book the table.
Oh, you know what is scary? What's a scary thought for me? We still have Vici and Firepower coming up next. That's gonna kill us. That is definitely gonna kill us. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna lose it.
I mean, I thought before this series, I was like, this should be the series that makes sense today. I mean, Firepower and Vici, that might get a little silly. There you go. Tyloo wins the round. That's the end of the series. 22-20 by time elimination. Obviously, MVP, they didn't plant the bomb because they only had 4 players. And yep, we could go to break, right? I don't need to wait for any longer, surely. We could just end this series like that. I'm fine with that.
Well, if we do have the player backs, we're going to have a restart coming in.
Sorry, that's the word in from the producer. He says that's a no-go.
That's a no-go?
Unfortunate.
Aww. You know what? I want this game to go on forever.
Well, technically, that's the thing. These CS games, it could just indefinitely go in
Potentially,
overtime.
it could never end.
We could die of old age right here and now, Blair. Are you ready to face God himself?
I am ready to face God himself because this is the best CS I have casted in a long, long time.
You know what though? You're gonna pass away. You're gonna be heading up to the heavenly gates. They open. It's just gonna be somebody with that look on his face, staring right at you.
I'm ready to cast this game till the heat death of the universe. To be very honest, I don't care. I love this. I love this stuff. This is a Counter-Strike I live for. Like, who wants to really cast like boring CS like with Astralis winning everything and structured CS and whatnot, Pilly? Like, that's boring. This is where it's at.
I believe you. You're making me a believer, Blair.
All right, for those of you panicking, wondering what's going on with your, with their bets, because the scoreline is a little weird here. It is 21.
It is
220.
It is 21-20
for Tyloo.
Damn, I was gonna throw them for a bit of a loop play. It is 0-0. We are resetting and starting this game again.
Imagine if that happened, dude. Like, imagine if we started this game from the beginning because
it's only fair.
Screw it. Yeah, it's only fair.
Isn't he back in the server? Zed is back in the server right now. What are we waiting for?
I don't know.
I see 10 players in the server. Come on.
Mr. Producer, can you let... Oh, I think they're waiting for the round to end. And then maybe they restore it or something like that. They usually do that.
Oh, some kind of match medic needs to come out.
Yeah. Boom, and we should have a restore coming in right about now. Or maybe not. I could be wrong. But anyway, score is 21-20. Tyloo, 1 round away from closing this one out and calling it a day for themselves. But for MVP, they got to fight it out. They got to win this one to take it to overtime. Number 3.
And then map number 3 after that, if they do close that out.
Yeah.
Could be getting pretty exhausted at some point for some of these players.
All right, so we are... Actually, we don't have any information as to what's happening. Hopefully, we should have the game resuming very, very quickly. Okay, we just have some technical issue. That's what's been informed by the production squad, that we just need a couple of minutes. Hopefully, we should get restored very, very quickly. So don't have to wait much longer. 1 more minute, and we'll know if you're going to be seeing map number 3. Sorry, overtime number 3, or if it's going to be the game getting done and dusted here.
Okay. Tyloo 1 round off hot pot.
Yeah, that was the bet we had at the beginning of the game. If Tyloo wins this, we go for Chinese hot pot. If MVP take the win, then it will be Korean barbecue. So just waiting for it. Is Vici and 5 Powers matchup even going to come close to this?
Yep. It's going to get more ridiculous. We saw the games yesterday, Blair. Why are you even asking, man? Has there even been a one-sided match so far in this group? Hasn't it just been like double digits both ways, absolute heartbreakers? Oh, I'm seeing some restarting happening. Hit bits and pieces here. I don't know. I know it's not done yet, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think Bented's going to have a USB out at this point in time, so it's not live yet. What are your thoughts on Vertigo? Have you played it yet?
What is it?
Vertigo?
Vertigo. I played it a little bit, not enough, and I haven't. The thing is that personally, obviously, playing it in pugs and stuff like that, even if it is with decent-ish players, doesn't really give you a good idea of.
All right, so we're going over to Dust 2, ladies and gentlemen. The map is going to be Dust 2 the decider. Inferno doesn't count anymore.
I told you, it's the best of 1 on Dust 2 to decide who wins this game, Blair.
Oh, hi there. We will be throwing, I think, to a very quick break, I do believe. That's what producers said. We are facing some technical issues right now while we will be reconnecting back into the game. Oh, we are reconnecting back into the game, so that shouldn't take long. We should be resuming with what has been one hell of a game, Tilly.
Absolute heartbreaker. MVP should already have been done with this, man. Like, come on, lads.
It's lovely.
They need to stop looking at the textures.
And it's kind of heartbreaking as well, because all MVP need is to just have one little round they needed to win, close this one out, take it to map number 3, which is going to be overpass, which could go either way. Instead, Tyloo can close this one out very, very quickly, which could be harder for MVP. But then again, for Tyloo, this is a must-win game. They lost yesterday. They need to win this game today to remain in contention in this particular group.
That's right. MVP's already getting their first 2 hard opponents out of the way nice and early on. So if they're able to take out Tyloo by pushing it to map 3 and going on to overpass, which they look pretty good against Vici on, then there is potential there for them to go up against 5 Power, and that could be a 3-0 in the group. Easy stuff for the Koreans.
Easy stuff for the Koreans. And can we have an appreciation for Mr. Bented and Mr. Zeph? Zeph, the veteran of the team, I think he's like 68 years or something like that. He's pretty old. He's about close to that.
I think it's his birthday in a couple of weeks as well, so he's pushing the 70s.
How do you know that?
I'm just really good friends with everybody on the entire planet.
All right, so we have Zeph, who's, I think he's dropped over a 40 bomb here, considering that he's a veteran in this team. He has been hard carrying them, especially on this map. And Mr. Bented, he calls, he in-game leads, he entries, he clutches, he even opts at times. He throws a utility for his team, he buys a utility, not buying armor for himself. He drops guns, and he also drops 40 bombs. What else can this man do?
Oh, well, you're forgetting the key fact that he single-handedly created the Indonesian Counter-Strike scene and dragged it up by himself, basically, with that record team. And then also created his own sidekick. So that's pretty good as well.
So, Xcreate, of course, being the sidekick, who has Had some
reflux issues.
Some reflux issues. He's not been feeling great. He's not been feeling great health-wise, is what I've been informed. He did tell me yesterday, so really can't blame him for having kind of a rough day today. But then he had a couple of moments there, a couple of crucial clutches that did go his favor. Which is why Tyloo is still in this map right now. I'm taking a look at the server. We are back in the server. We should be resuming with the game really, really quickly. In the meantime, though, talk me through what we have coming up next after this game.
Are you talking about the series after this game or the next
the
map?
series after this game. We have Vici and we have 5-Power. Vici in a must-win scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Vici in this group in particular, they're 0 and 1. You'd expect them as a second seed to be going through, especially because some people are sort of outlining them being the best team in Asia, potentially over Tyloo, although they had fairly comparable performances, I would probably say, particularly at Star Ladder, pretty much identical. They both went 1 and 3 in the Swiss. But I don't think I'm going to need to talk for very much longer, although because I'm seeing on the screen down there that we're having some restarts, that people are starting to buy some weapons. So not 100%. We haven't got it restored 100% yet, but we're getting there. Yeah, some things are happening.
We're getting there. We're almost getting things sorted out, ladies and gents. We still have, I think, a couple of players. HSK yet to join the server, but we do have all the coaches, all the players of Tyloo are in the server as well. We should be resuming the game. Kind of unfortunate we have a tech issue just one round away from what could potentially be Tyloo closing the series out.
The next series, though, I'm willing to fully embrace the madness and say that 5-Power goes 2-0 and then 3-0 in this group and just, you know, whatever. My opinion doesn't matter. And
it really does.
5-Power will be the best team in Asia. Dobu to drop over 90 kills across a best of 3. Too easy for 5-Power.
Too easy for 5-Power. That could be coming up. I mean, that will be coming up. That could very well be the case as well. Although we still have to wait for the series to finish before we can get to that particular matchup. For the time being, I am keeping an eye on the players, and we have everyone in the server. That's great. That's great. I think we do have everyone in the server at the moment. We should be having the restore coming in very, very soon. I do apologize for the delay. Nothing much we can do. Contrary to popular opinion that the casters start the game, that's not the case. But
I never really quite got that one, to be honest. Like,
casters start the game, casters start the show, fix the technical issues.
Yeah, look, I've got nothing in front of me. I have no devices to be able to. I got a couple buttons over here, but I'm pretty sure if I and then my mic it's gonna stop working. So
yeah,
that's like all I can really control, whether you can hear me or not. If you don't want to hear me, you can always say that in the chat, and I do have control. I can just pretty easy stuff there.
Yeah, so we're not really technically accomplished. I dropped out of school when I was in 3rd grade. I could not.
That's what we're digging into now. It's life history of player. Okay, player. When you were, can you give us a run through of 0 months to how old are you now? 42, 43.
39 or something.
Okay,
so
not
I don't know how to
there
count as
in
well.
The 40s,
I literally don't know how to count. I got kicked out of school. They're like, you can't count, you can't read, you just get out of here, go get a job, and here I am casting Counter-Strike. Who would have thought it? But we are finally back into the server. Hopefully, we should be able to continue with the game. It has been. So we're going to take a look at this right now.
I don't know if we can start this already. Like, look at how many extra USPs and P2000s have been dropped in the spawn for the CTs here. That's a bit unfair, honestly.
Man, I just want the game to start.
If they fire all their USP bullets and have to reload their clips, they could come and pick up extras. That might give them an unfair advantage. I think we need a couple more restarts here, Blair.
Listen, dude.
Look at that extra guy bent over and he spawned there. That might potentially throw one of these Tyloo players off if he flags through. He might get a little bit distracted.
Can we talk about the scenario as to how that poor body has come to lie in that position?
I think you might be a little bit more educated on these kind of topics than me, Blair, a man of your experience and age in particular. I'm just a 7-year-old boy here.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just a 9-year-old and I'm a PewDiePie fan.
Nice.
Subscribe to PewDiePie. There we go. Crusader has left the...
He's made the ultimate sacrifice to be able to start the game. Someone must have to die. That's what it's come to.
Blood must be spilt to the elder gods for the game to resume. I don't even see a countdown timer, so I don't know if we are about to go live yet. But what I do see is that body knelt in prayer or in death. Could be both. I don't know.
He's like in the midway point of turning into a headstand, but he hasn't quite pushed the rest of his body up there. And then he's going to do some sick breakdancing moves, which is not something that's too uncommon in Korea. So considering that's MVP's T-spawn there.
Korean bands, or like this K-pop bands, can really shake a leg. Yeah, it looks like it just died midway between a dance segment there.
And then all the other lads are just bopping up and down, so they're getting into it as well.
Yeah, well, what's Zine doing? Is that crouch? Crouch. Oh, I stopped it.
Just limbering up, you know, getting ready to be banging straight out of A Palace and into the opponent's spawn.
Indeed. Indeed. As is there like an extra? Well, it is the final round anyway. It doesn't really matter. They can have whatever guns they want. Everyone's got the money as well. Okay.
Lucky that this is a new map to the pool, and you know, it's keeping things nice and fresh throughout this pause. I'm seeing all these new textures. I mean, maybe to keep it fresh and interesting, I can be looking at the textures a little bit of a special way, like MVP are. But here we go, Blair. We're finally back into it.
Observer, please show us the game. There we go. We're back.
All
and
right.
it's going to be on to Excurate. Forget the scores, boys and girls. It's those 0-0, but I'll tell you what the score is. It's 21-20. Tyloo need to win this round to win the series. If MVP win this round, it is going to be overtime number 3. Simple as that. That's all you need to know. And yeah, we do have the AWP in the hands of Excurate, Augs on the rest of his teammates. And for MVP, AK-47s, and a double up setup on the T side. That is interesting indeed.
Yeah, but they're probably going to throw one away. They do, and they go back towards this middle/B area. Looks like once again, Stax is setting up that smoke in towards middle so the MVP can go and take control of that. It's going to be Fancy and Attacker towards jungle and Connector. Bentet's playing over towards short as well, and Excurate's going to be playing retake on this A bomb site. So now MVP taking this mid control, 3 players here and 2 players in towards the B apartments really tells the tale that this is looking like a bit of a B split. So somebody in Bentet will be the ones to hold.
Excurate though, he gets the kill. Despite being so very low, Attacker, he strikes, and with what force indeed. He finds 2 of them, and it's all Zeph and Stax. This might have just fallen apart, Pilly. This could be the end for the Koreans. And who's that standing at the edge of the smoke? Of course, it is Bentet, and it's all on Zeph. He finds one, won't get a second, and that's going to be it. Tyloo will take the series 2-1. It took a while. It was one hell of a roller coaster ride. It broke me in places I didn't even know I could break, but I did. I did manage to survive at the end there. We will not be seeing the final map. Actually, the overpass will not be played. Tyloo close it out, and they win a game that they absolutely needed to win to stay alive in this tournament.
Yep, and big missed opportunity by MVP, unfortunately, so they're going to have to get that 2-1 scoreline working for them in the rest of this group.
Well, and that's it for us for now. We're going to be taking a very quick break. We're going to just get a breather because we are kind of internally hemorrhaging as well as ourselves after what was one banger of the game. Quick break. We'll be back. We'll break it down. Of course, we have another game coming up for you guys later on. It's going to be Vici with his 5 power, and they have a lot to live up to.